So it looks like my recent Hood Rant video is actually going to be getting a sequel. Hell, I didn't expect I'd be over in this part of town again today, but lo and behold, I happen to be. And it's funny because I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of off screen on the left side, but there's a damn Pepsi truck that just showed up here. So if it gets a little loud, do excuse that. There's nothing I can do, due to that, right? So as you can see, right, I'm back out here by the damn Rent Center again, and as I mentioned last time, man, there's never a damn dull moment out here in the hood, man. It's never a damn dull moment out here. There's always, interesting shit going on, interesting, individuals you see everywhere. It's crazy. I'll give you an example. Like, just behind me, there's a bus stop back there, right, where you can, wait there, and you can get picked up, right? So it's funny, like, once or twice I was down here at, 2 a.m., right, because the laundromat was open, and it was surprising because even the buses were still running at that time. It's like, shit, here it is, there's 5 people sitting there waiting to get picked up at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's like, shit, I didn't know the buses around here are still operating at that time. As far as I knew, I thought they closed up at maybe 10 or 11. It's like, shit, that was surprising. I didn't expect to see that. One sickening thing here that I'll mention. I kind of mentioned this last time, but it should be brought up again, man. On the strip I'm here at right now, there's a Rent-A-Center down there. Or I should say a loan place, right? Hell, I'm in front of the Rent-A-Center, but there's a damn loan place just right up the road here. And, it's astonishing how much they want to charge you for a small loan, right? I'll give you an example. If you go and take a $500 loan, you got to pay them back $1,500. If you take a $1,000 loan, you got to pay back $3,000 for that loan. It's like, shit. Those of us born into these trenches, we don't really have a way to get the hell out of here, man. Right? There's really no way you can get out of this poverty. You can't work yourself out of it. You can't save. Shit, I seen a meme recently, right? It was saying, I get paid some money. I try to save some money. Some bullshit happens that requires money. And then I have no money. The cycle repeats, every other week. And it was funny because, me and everybody else that saw the meme, we were like, shit. It's like, how the hell does this guy, get these memes so accurate to our daily life situation? And somebody was joking like, shit, I think this guy, was spying on us. But shit, it looks like all of us are in the same situation here, you know what I'm saying? And it's, God, I think it's just sad and pathetic, man. That some of us that were born into these trenches, born into the, the hood here, we got it bad, man. So, pissing me off to see sometimes, these people, on the web, complaining, but meanwhile they're sitting there in a fully paid off, 2-story house that they got handed down, by their family. It's like, shit, you don't have any right to sit there and complain. I mean, there's people out here like myself who are born into nothing, right? Shit, talk about, family vacation somewhere nice. Shit, I'm from Florida, right? And I'd say we probably only got to go somewhere cheap, once a year? Shit, I'll give you an example, right? If we talk about Disney, shit, we went to, what we would do for fun is go to Pop Century or downtown Disney, which both of those are free, right? You don't got to pay nothing to go down there, unless you want to stay overnight. But yeah, that's what we considered fun, right? But meanwhile, there's people out here. This shit, I know some of these people, right? Flying across the damn country, for a damn $1,000, Disney escape. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, a lot of people don't know how good they got it out here, man. Right? So it just pissing me off sometimes, seeing these people on the internet, complain about, what they don't got. It's like, shit, you got people out here. Like, I'll give an example. Like, I saw a video where there was a girl, she was crying because their family bought her a car for her, like, 20th birthday. And she was upset because the car was green, but she wanted a pink car. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, it's like, bitch, you should be grateful for what you got. Because there's some of us out here that could only dream about being gifted a car or even a half-assed car, right? She's sitting there whining and complaining because this brand new vehicle she got wasn't a color she wanted. But shit, I'd be lucky over here if I get $1,000, rust bucket hand down. You know what I'm saying? It's like, shit, some of these people out here, they don't appreciate it how good they got, man. Because I'll tell you something, man. There's a lot of us out here that would be willing to lose it all, to switch places with you. I'll tell you that. There's some of us out here, man, who we were born into the bottom of the barrel. So we'd be willing to give up a lot, to switch places with you. I'll just tell you that. Say, hey, before you go around and complain, like you got it bad, trust me, there's people out here that got it worse than you. Again, I got it pretty bad myself. Shit, I'm over here in a situation where I'm hot bunking a bed with 8 people, right? You heard that? Not 8 people, excuse me, 4 people is what I meant to say. 4 people. So, if you don't know what that means, it's a hot bunking is a military term, right? Like they use it in a war submarine, where, like, say for instance, while you're out doing your duty, somebody else will sleep in your bed, and then you'll switch places, right? So shit, I'm over here, sharing one bed with 4 different people, right? I'll sleep there, and then when I'm doing something, someone else will sleep there, or shit, one night someone will get the floor, then the other night someone gets the bed. It's pretty bad, man. It's pretty pathetic. And it's, nothing to be happy about. You know what I'm saying? So shit, you got guys out here, complaining about, that they got a small bed, oh, well, I want a king size bed. I only got, a queen size bed. It's like, shit, you should be grateful for what you got, because at least you're not in a position where you have to, share one bed with multiple different people. You know what I'm saying? Shit, at least you got a bed to call your own. Right? At least you got a bed to call your own. So, again, people like me that are born into these situations, we got a right to be pissed off. We got a right to be pissed off. Let me give you another example, right? Like, I remember growing up, I used to live in the trailer park, right? I was brought up in the bottom of the barrel. So, I always tried to put away a couple dollars for myself since I was like 14 years old, right? So I was 14 years old and I already had like $1,200 put aside, for myself. And, of course, you end up having to loan your family money so they can pay for their bills and, shit that they need, right? Like one month we were going to be out of the house if I didn't give like $800 to help out, you know what I'm saying? And of course I'm told I'm going to get it back in the future, and of course it never works out for me. So it just makes me upset and pissed off how, here it is, I try to do good for myself, try to put some money to the side. Now I'm 22 years old and I don't even have 2 pennies to scratch together. And I get pissed off because people tell me, oh, well, you should make better financial decisions. It's like, bitch, I tried to do that, and because of my situation, it doesn't work out for me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it pisses me off to hear this bullshit, but I'm put in a situation where I'm affected by it, but it's not my problem. It's not because of, it's not my fault. It's nothing I did as far as a bad financial decision, right? So, it just pisses me off, that here it is, I'm trying to get by on like $10 a week, $20 a week, But there's these people on the internet, like I was watching earlier, like a compilation of these elite gamblers, right? They're like spending thousands and thousands of dollars a week. Like there was one dude on there that was literally spent $25,000 in a week on gambling and then lost all of it, right? The dude literally lost all his 25 grand. And the dude's, sitting there crying about it. But then the next week, the dude's spending another 50 grand. It's like, hold up, what? What the hell? It's like, well, first of all, where the hell are these people getting this money from? And, it was funny because there was another dude on there that's getting like a few thousand donations from his chat, right? A couple $1,000 donations from his chat. And the dude turns right back around and gambles it all away and then cries that he has no money. Like, I'll give you an instance, right? The guy will get $2,000 on that stream right there, and then the dude will gamble it away live on camera and then bitch and complain that he don't have any more money in the very same live stream where he just got $2,000 that he just spent. It's like, damn, it's pathetic. It's just really pathetic and childish. But people like me, we have a right to be upset, that we're put into these terrible situations. Like, shit, I'll give you an example. Like I was talking about these loan places earlier. I know people in my family who are affected by these, right? Bad with money, take out loans and they have to pay triple the amount back. It's terrible. It's terrible. So, we got to sit over here, go through all this suffering, have to share one bed with 4 different people. Meanwhile, it's just terrible, man. It's just terrible. As the saying goes, right, the rich get richer, the poor get poor. And that's not right, right? This isn't right, man. Like, do you really think that God's okay with this, how America is being ran? And not only America, the entire world, right? The whole world is run by greed and corruption. And God's pissed off about it, right? The Lord is pissed off, and he's gonna come to our aid. You better believe that, man. Right? The Lord's coming to our aid very soon. Hey, the Bible says the day of vengeance burns in his heart. Right? You better believe that, man. When who people call Christ gets back here, man, there's going to be hell to pay. Hey, it says in, I believe that's Revelation, the 6th chapter. It says, destroy them who destroy the earth. Right? And the people in charge, right, these top, elites of the world that are causing all these problems, they're going to get dealt with for what they're doing. Right? We're all being kept, at the bottom of the barrel on purpose. There's enough money to go around, but the problem is the top elite, the top 1% have more wealth than 50% of the population combined. Look that up. It's a fact, right? The top 1% of the society have more wealth than the top, well, I shouldn't say the top 50%, but 50% of the population, right? So there's dudes out here that have more cash in their back pocket than half of the damn population out here put together. And that's just pathetic, right? That's pathetic. And then you got these dumbasses on the internet like Jill. Oh, well, I'm free, right? I can't hear you over the sound of my freedom. It's like, so all it takes to trick that peon into thinking that he's free is just letting him have internet and letting him talk on live streams and, spread his garbage around. Right? That's all you need to give that guy to convince him that he's free. Let him go to the store, buy, the candies and snacks that he likes, and then let him go on YouTube to bitch and complain about, other religious beliefs. And, he'll sit there and be like, well, why would anybody criticize the government? We're free. We're so free. I can't hear you over the sound of my freedom. Like, can you believe there's idiots out here that are so retarded that, they'll sit there and brag about their freedom. But then on the other hand, they'll be like, yeah, well, people that run the world are corrupt and, power hungry and, untrustworthy. But then in the next breath, they'll be like, whatever, I'm free. Like, that's just retarded. I mean, that's not logically thinking. Another point I'll bring up, like I was at a local restaurant, which is actually, ironically enough, just like a mile away from here. I was at the Wendy's, and I went there at maybe like 11:30 at night. Like I was like the last person there as they were closing up. You know, it was funny because I was eating there, and then, you know, one of these workers, one of the, you know, Negro workers, you know, you could hear this guy was pissed off, you know, throwing shit around, you know, using racist slurs. You know, it's like, shit, you know, I wouldn't expect to see that, you know, a damn Wendy's, but, you know, I feel for the dude because you listen to what he's talking about. You know, getting paid, you know, $8 an hour, maybe $10 an hour, you know, have to deal with this bullshit. But meanwhile, in the same country, there's, you know, cows and land whales sitting on their ass all day, getting thousands of dollars in disability. But meanwhile, we got to bust our balls for nothing. You know, that's, you know, hey, look, my generation says F that. You know, I'll watch the words I use, but my generation says hell to the no. Right? Hey, look, the employer, he can go F himself. That's what the employer can do. You know, sit there and bitch and complain when nobody wants to work. It's like, well, dumbass, y'all ain't offering enough. Like, why the hell would I want to bust my balls for $10 an hour? Shit, I can't even get free Red Bulls for $10. Like, seriously, I can't even get free damn Red Bulls for $10. And I'm being serious when I say that. I'm not even being sarcastic. You know, it's, I just think it's so pathetic out here. It's like, oh, yeah, obviously nobody wants to get up and work because the wages are dog shit. Right? Nobody wants to work because the wages are not worth it. And to just pretend, well, people are lazy, you know, people don't want to, you know, people just don't want to work. It's like there's a lot of people out here who would like to work, but the wage is too little. And to just pretend, you know, well, it's just their game, you know, just go along with it. It's like, no, you're a damn slave if that's how you think. You know, like, hey, look, if you want to live in slavery, you live in slavery. But you know what? I'm going to call out the oppression. I'm going to call out the oppressors. Hey, the Bible says, Isaiah 10:1, deaf to them who decree unrighteous laws. Psalms 94 and verse 20, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, those who frame mischief by a law? So the Bible's saying God doesn't have fellowship with those who frame mischief by laws. And that's all we have in America. First of all, do you know how many written regulations exist in the United States? In case you didn't know, there's 40,000+ different regulations and written commandments. And the mind-boggling thing is everybody out here will be like, oh, you know, it's too hard to follow God's, you know, 613 laws. But yet they'll turn around and say, I'm a law-abiding citizen, right? I obey the law of the land. It's like, okay, well, dumbass, do you know how many laws exist? Of course you don't, right? There's 40,000+ that exist in the United States. So you're really going to tell me you sit there and you obey all of those? Well, obviously you don't. In fact, I'd be willing to bet that you couldn't even name 100 of them off the top of the head. You know, any of these, you know, simple-minded, you know, peons out here. Bet you couldn't even name 100 off the top of your head. And then second of all, how the hell could this be such a freedom-loving country if there's 40,000+ different regulations that you have to be forced to obey? Like, how the hell is that a freedom-loving nation right there? I don't get that. That logically makes no sense. But again, just like Jill, hey, you know, I'm free. Well, why are you free? I don't know, right? All I know is Trump is like, you know, number one, right? Trump is like, you know, a godsend. Say, hey, look, you know, if you want to be ignorant and retarded like Jill, then you be ignorant and retarded like Jill. You know, I don't know what the hell else to tell you, man. You know, shit, one thing I want to mention, I was downtown maybe a couple weeks ago, and, you know, I was just sitting there in, like, the center square, and you have, like, a cool water fountain down there, right? And, you know, as I'm sitting there, there's this, you know, the group of, I'll say, high schoolers that came up. And, you know, I'm sitting there watching what's going on. And there's one dude, literally, they dared him to hop into the damn fountain and literally swim laps around it. It's like, shit. You know, it shows you people out here, man, right? You know, they'll be willing to do anything, you know, just for popularity among their friend group. You know, it's pathetic. So this dummy, is gonna jump into this, chlorine water, right? Who the hell knows what's in this water to keep it perfectly blue? You know what I'm saying? All the chemicals and pesticides that might be put into this. But this dumbass is gonna hop into that water and swim laps around it like a damn dolphin. It's pathetic. Then the dude jumps out and starts jogging away before anybody sees, which there's clearly like 50 cameras in the area. But I just find that pathetic. It's just pathetic what people are willing to do, just for the popularity, to stay in the friend group. You know what I'm saying? It's just pathetic. Bear with me a second.